Hey guys, Scott DeSalvo, your marketing mentor here today. And in today's video, I want to ask you, do you have bad employees? Well, I've got some bad news for you. If you have bad employees, you got a better than even chance that it just means that you're not being a good boss. Um, Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'll explain to you. There are 5 things that you can't teach or train, and this is part of my system for hiring. But the 5 things is nice. So a person can fake being nice, but you want somebody in your law office who's actually nice, because being nice to the clients and people on the telephone is essential. They have to have a good motor. What that means is some people work like this, and some people work like this, and you need people who work like this, right? You can make people work faster, but they're unhappy and they end up screwing things up, right? The third thing is smart enough, meaning they're smart enough to do what the job description is, right? So that can be very different for a law clerk or, an intern job who's making photocopies versus an office manager or an associate attorney or a partner, right? If you're bringing in a partner, which is another video, and we'll talk about that. It's usually a bad idea, but that's a different video. So smart enough means smart enough to do what you need them to do, not in absolute terms, right? So that's 3. What else? Give a shit, right? I know that that's, what do you call it? Crass, but it's really the best way to describe it. There are 2 kinds of employees you'll have in your office, right? There's the kind of employee that you train them to do something, and then whether anyone is looking or not, they're going to do it the right way because it's the right way to do it. They've been trained, and they have something inside them that makes them want to do it the right way, right? The other kind of employee is the kind of person who sort of looks around. If nobody's watching, they just throw the work away or half-ass it, knowing that it's not right or knowing that they don't really know how to do it. And rather than asking to be trained or supported on it, they just do it any old way because they figure out, what the hell, my 8 hours today are almost up. You don't want that kind of person in your office. And number 5 is buy-in, right? Again, this is the most recent one I added to my list. And these are the 5 things I look for when I'm hiring an employee, right? So buy-in means, is this person capable of joining the team, understanding what we're trying to do, and is willing to help move the ball down the field, right? Or do I have a person who is so self-centered, so narcissistic, or feels like, oh, I'm working for an old white rich guy and he doesn't need any more money and I'm not going to put myself out over this, and he's probably exploiting these people anyway. God knows what bad ideas a lot of people come in. But I've had employees who come in and buy in, and they are spectacular human beings. We end up being really good friends. And then I have employees who do the opposite, who all the talent and brains in the world, hardworking, but they do not have the ability to buy in on anyone's team but their own. And that is bad news, my friend. So those are the 5 criteria of the things that you cannot teach or train in a person when you're looking for an employee. But the truth is, if you have somebody on that 5-point scale who's pretty close, it's probably your fault if you have a bad employee. And I'll tell you why. Because I was a bad boss for a really long time. And I can understand why. Being a good boss basically breaks down into you documenting the job and providing a set way to train on every important task that you're going to expect another person to do. Now, you might hear that and say, oh my God, this guy's crazy. How much time does this guy think I have? I don't have time to do that. Yes, you do. Okay, there's a very quick and easy way to do it, and I can show you how. Until I found this way, I thought it was crazy too. I thought it was impossible. I thought it would never work. But once I figured out how to do it, you can blast out this training and this documentation very, very quickly and easily, and it ends up saving you so much time. because what you do is you make it so easy for your employees to follow what you want them to do that if they don't, so two things. First is it becomes dead simple to supervise them because either they've done exactly what you need them to do, exactly the way you want it done, right? Or they don't. And it either means they have an attitude problem, right? They haven't bought in and they don't like it there, or they're dumb, right? And of those two, I'll take somebody who's not quite smart enough because you can always teach and train somebody. Um, and usually get them to do what you need them to do. But if somebody's got an attitude problem, here's my best advice that will ever come out of my mouth. Mark it down, red letter day. My best advice to you on operating a law firm is if you have a poison employee in the office, get rid of them yesterday. And if you didn't fire them yesterday, fire them today. Do not wait until tomorrow. If you have an inkling or your spider sense is tingling that somebody has a crappy attitude and they don't like you and they go silent when you assign them a task or they don't participate in firm meetings, morning meetings, they get all silent, they don't want to give any feedback, I am telling you, you have a poison employee and you ought to get rid of them as soon as possible. But then the second thing I wanted to tell you is um, it makes supervising your people super easy because they either do the task or they don't do the task. And the second thing is you end up saving so much time, right? By getting to the bottom of whether you have a good employee or a bad employee. And once you document your process, it's evergreen, right? You never have to do it again. And if this employee doesn't work out, who cares? You've got the next one until you plug somebody in and it works, right? The last thing I'm going to say about employees is it may very well be that you don't need as many employees as you think you do. In fact, I can almost guarantee that you have too many employees and that you're paying them too much money, right? Now, I get it. If you have a secretary or a paralegal or an attorney who's worked for you for a long time and they're making a hell of a lot of money, that's fine. That's loyalty. When I find somebody who proves to me that they're loyal and awesome, I hang on to them with both hands, and I mainly bonus them, right? So I don't have a crushing payroll, but I bonus the hell out of them, and they're super happy for it, for a job well done. But what I'm saying is, until you know you have a superstar employee that you can't afford to lose, you probably have too many employees. Supervising them is probably too big of a hassle for you, and you probably don't even know what they're doing. I know that that's the way my office used to be. I didn't know half the time what my employees were doing. But there are definitely systems you can put in place and you'll know exactly what they're doing and you'll have super easy way to evaluate them and know whether you got a winner or a loser or somebody that you're just lukewarm about, right? So important to know. The final thing I'll say is it may very, very well be that you should be getting rid of some of your employees, or when you lose them by attrition, you shouldn't be replacing them. You can get virtual employees to do so much in your office, you'd be shocked, and at a fraction of what you're paying employees. And the beauty of it is a lot of it ends up becoming taxable cost on the case. So it's money you're paying out, but you're also recovering it from your client if you have it in your contract. So that's I'll be shooting uh, videos on that, exactly how to do it. I've taken several courses from other people about hiring people from India, hiring people from the Philippines, all this stuff. None of it works. It was all disorganized, nightmare, pain in the ass, added to my work. But good news is, after several years of messing with it, I finally figured it out. And I've got a system that is dead easy. It makes it makes the process mechanical, easy, You can even hand it off to your secretary. And you, by the end of the hiring process, you're going to have somebody who's trained, eager to have the job, happy to do whatever you need them to do, and they do it perfectly. And they love feedback, right? So it was a big game changer in my law firm. I'll be doing some videos on that sometime when I can sit down and have some time to do it. I'm actually on my way to my brother's place and his wife, where they're having some people out in the backyard, and I hope to get my hair cut today. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that information helps you, and I hope I didn't offend you, because, at the end of the day, your firm is your firm. Your law practice belongs to you. And if things aren't working for you, if things in your law practice are not pleasing you, then it's time to make a change, right? Nothing's going to change for the better until you decide that it needs to change for the better, and I can help you with that. And you can find me on lawclientsrightnow.com. That's lawclientsrightnow.com. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.